Grapevine, Texas last month. They played what was, in my estimation, one of the oddest football games in high school history. The game pitted the home team, the 7-2 Grapevine Faith High School, versus the 0-9 Gainesville State School. And everything about the game was upside down. It was like water running uphill and cats petting dogs. For example, when it was time for the visitors to go out on the field, the home team lined up and made a 40-yard spirit line for them to run through. The opposing fans, huh? The home team even made a banner for them to run through at the end. And it said, "Go Tornadoes," which was weird because the home team was the Lions. The story, printed by ESPN, said that over 200 of the home team fans sat behind the visiting team bench and cheered for them throughout the game by name. And even though the home team walloped them 33-14, the visiting Gainesville State kids were so happy at the end of the game that they took their squirt bottles and squirted their coach, the best approach they could get, I suppose, to a Gatorade shower. One of the few times I'm sure there's been a Gatorade shower for an 0-9 coach, huh? But then you saw the uniformed officers with handcuffs in their pockets start to escort the visiting team's players off the field to their buses, and began to realize what was happening. It's because Gainesville is a maximum security correctional facility located about 75 miles north of Dallas. All of this started when the home team's coach, Chris Hogan, said he wanted to do something good for these kids. He knew the outcome of the game was never in doubt. He had 70 players, 11 coaches, state-of-the-art equipment. He was 7-2, playing the 0-9 team who had 14 players, had scored 2 touchdowns all year, and had equipment that was at least 7 years old. So he had this idea. He said, what if half of our fans went over and just cheered their hearts out for these young men? So he sent an email to their fan base and asked them to do just that. And in the email, he said why. He said, here's the message that I want you to send to those kids, that you are just as valuable as any other person on earth. That's what I want those kids to hear. Some people were confused. One of his own players said, why are we doing this, coach? He said, well, imagine that nobody believed in you, that you had no family life. Maybe your own parents had disowned you, and you went through life without thinking anybody believed in you. And then suddenly, for a night, you got to hear that people did. What do you think that would be like for you? When the game started, the visiting Gainesville Tornadoes kept turning around on their bench to see something they had never seen before. Hundreds of fans and cheerleaders. Alex, a linesman, said, why are they cheering for us? They must be confused. And it was a strange experience for boys that most people cross the street to avoid, huh? A lineman named Gerald said, we can tell that people are a little afraid of us when we come to the games. You can see it in their eyes. They're looking at us like we're criminal. He said, but these people, they were yelling for us by name. And after the game, both teams gathered in the middle for a little prayer. And Isaiah, from the visiting team, volunteered to say the prayer. Coach Hogan said, I didn't really know what to expect. But here's the brief prayer the young man said. Lord, I don't know how this happened, so I don't know how to say thank you. But I would have never known that there were so many people in the world that cared about us. And if everybody's heads had not been bowed, maybe they would have seen Coach Hogan wiping away his tears. And as the visiting Tornadoes walked back to their bus under guard, their coach grabbed Coach Hogan by the shoulders hard and he said, you'll never know what your people did for these kids tonight. You'll never know. It's a powerful thing to be believed in. It's a powerful thing to be cheered on when you think no one else believes in you. The mystery we celebrate at Christmas is in part that God has not given up on us. That God still believes in us. In today's gospel, Simeon got to hold the infant Jesus, to see the promise that had been theirs. That God believes in us so much that God would become who we are. God has taken flesh in us. And then he said, God, you can dismiss your servant in peace now because I've seen it. I've seen how much you believe in us, that you would draw near. Well, in this Christmas season, you and I don't get to hold that child in our arms, but we get to hold him in our hearts. And I pray that our eyes will be open to see how he says, I believe in you. Just like those players and that coach from Gainesville State. They could hear somehow that night that God believed in them. And on this Feast of the Holy Family, we remember really that that's what families are meant to do. It's what our biological families are meant to do. Our church family is meant to do. This world family is meant to do, to help make sure that each person knows they matter, that they are believed in, that they are believed in. My brothers and sisters, this day, you and I are being cheered on by God in this upside-down world of Christmas, where water runs uphill and cats pet dogs. A voice came from the night sky, and the voice belonged to no one other than God, who said quietly, here's the message I want you to hear. No matter what you have done, no matter what you have suffered, no matter how you have failed, I believe in you. You are so valuable to me. Boys and girls, before we go, maybe we should see what Big Al's up to today. Well, hello, buddy. How you doing? Great. I see that you're cheering. Black and gold must be Mizzou, huh? What? Who you cheering for? Me? Really? And them? Oh, you're cheering for us, Big Al? Tell me about that. Life's hard. Oh, you know that life's hard. And you want us to know that you believe in us? I do. Oh, Big Al, thank you so much. I think that's very great of you, Big Al. Present for you. You got a present for me? Look. Oh, Big Al, it's a Mizzou shirt. Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, Big Al, it's kind of small. That'll never fit me. I know. I mean, oops. Yeah. Gotcha. Can I have it? Okay, you can have it. Yeah, okay. Sure, Big Al, that might fit you. What a coincidence, huh? Yeah, so Big Al, I do think it's great, though, that you would cheer for us. And because life is hard sometimes, and I pray that every boy and girl will grow up knowing that God cheers for them. What do you think? Go, Mizzou. Nah, it won't fit, will it? There, yeah. Okay. Boys and girls, sometimes life will be hard, and sometimes life will be scary, but we pray that all your life, wherever you go, you will be able to remember that you have a God who believes in you.